Have your productivity levels taken a nosedive? Do you find yourself wondering if your mojo has gone on an extended vacation? Well, hold on, because this is a telltale sign that your T levels might just be hitting the ground. Testosterone is known as the primary male sex hormone, but it's actually more of an all-around male health hormone. But how does one find out if they're low on testosterone? Lucky for you, we have listed down 7 revealing signs that indicate you have low testosterone. Let's get right into it. Number 1. Low sex drive. Low male libido is a very common occurrence in men with subnormal levels of testosterone, and also often the greatest fear associated with this deficiency. Libido or sex drive is the human urge and motivation to have sex with desirable partners and is often chalked up as the chief evolutionary instinct. But because testosterone is the primary male sex hormone, a drop in testosterone levels is usually the chief suspect when a male is suffering from diminished sex drive, while the other manifestations of low testosterone we're going to discuss later in this video are actually mostly physiologic. Having a depressed sex drive is very much psychological. Men suffering from low testosterone often complain of a lack of excitement and emotions that are usually associated with the sexual act. And if this isn't worrying enough, not feeling the natural instinct to have sex can deal a blow to your self-esteem. Not being able to satisfy your partner's needs is a scary thought. So, if you have been feeling less enthusiastic about sex, or even straight up tired of thinking of the act, it is a sign that your body is struggling to maintain a healthy level of testosterone in the bloodstream. Number 2. Low energy. All of us get tired, often after studying or working long hours, exercising or socializing, and that's perfectly normal. But experiencing fatigue chronically for days in a row, even after getting good amounts of rest, is something to worry about. It's also a waving red light to get your testosterone levels checked. Let's explain why. Testosterone levels are directly related to your metabolism and how efficiently your body runs itself. When this mechanism isn't regulated to a healthy level, a lot of the energy you're getting from your diet goes to waste and your brain constantly urges you to get rest. In the worst case scenarios, such a condition can have huge effects on your performance at school or work. You'll find yourself procrastinating and not putting in enough effort. More so, your productivity level might just resemble that of a sloth on a lazy Sunday. And if the deficiency hasn't affected your productivity yet, you'll still notice a lack of vigor in your social life. This low energy state can also manifest itself as shyness because you simply don't have the stamina to interact with people and make a good conversation. You could end up missing out on genuine connections, friendships, and relationships. But don't worry, your T levels are something that can be fixed. However, the first step is to go and get those levels checked, and you will find yourself one step closer to the path to a healthy, active life. Number 3. Depression. Did you know a German study found that men diagnosed with depression had low levels of testosterone? Yep, and the same study also found that cortisol levels were 68% higher in these depression patients than in healthy males. What is cortisol, you might ask? Well, cortisol is the human hormone directly responsible for stress, anxiety, and depression. And what's more, cortisol and testosterone are biologically proven to have a seesaw relationship, where one goes up if the other goes down and vice versa. And even if low testosterone wasn't physiologically wired to cause a cortisol spike, it would probably still cause depression. Symptoms of low testosterone like low sex drive, fatigue, and weakness are bound to cause any man's serotonin to drastically drop. And having chronically low serotonin is a revealing indication of depression. However, here's the twist. Another way to look at this is how exercise, good diet, and medication-assisted sleep are all testosterone elevating factors and proven to be therapeutic against depression. Number 4. Trouble concentrating. It's pretty normal to have reduced focus and processing speed and multitasking ability as you get old, right? Well, here's the kicker. A lot of biologists are now convinced that it's actually the decline of testosterone production that connects aging to this decline in mental performance. And if it can go downhill with normal aging, the same can happen in young men with low testosterone. A key idea to keep in mind is focus, memory, and just brain performance in general are not personality traits. If you think you're not doing well in any of these areas, it's a matter of your health, and you should take it seriously. Many men simply chalk it up to being a part of who they are. A lot of health and psychology professionals rationalize this relationship from an evolutionary perspective. These people suggest that the low testosterone male body has a reduced mating instinct. A creature with a reduced mating instinct is not motivated to perform its best in order to attract a mate, and so its body doesn't feel the need to keep the brain in tip-top shape all the time. Makes sense, right? To top that, we have tons of academically published studies about evolutionary instincts, testosterone, and declining brain functions. So, take a mental note the next time you feel your concentration span has taken a toll and get those T levels inspected. Number 5. Increased body fat. Remember we talked about how a low metabolism is an alarming sign of low testosterone? Well, if that isn't scary enough, listen to this. Having a slow metabolism means that your body doesn't extract nutrients from your diet to use them for healthy functions such as tissue repair or energy production. That's a big issue. Why? Because if these nutrients are not being converted into useful body cells or energy, a lot of the carbs you consume are going to add to adipose tissue. Simply put, the fat deposits in your body are going to skyrocket. What's more alarming is that this is a two-way relationship. Low testosterone leads to more fat deposition, and more fat deposits lead to low testosterone. Adipose tissue has enzymes that convert free testosterone to female sex hormones. Both males and females naturally have sex hormones of both genders in their bodies, but having high levels of feminine hormones is not healthy for males. Besides increasing body fat, accumulation of female hormones in male bodies also causes men to have poorer sperm count and quality, frequent mood swings, fatigue and weakness, and hair loss. Interlinking of testosterone levels and amount of deposited body fat is a genuinely scary cycle that anyone can get sucked into and suffer from chronic obesity as a result. Obesity, in turn, brings bad news in the form of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and weaker bones. If you suffer from any of these symptoms or conditions, it is time to get your gonads checked because low testosterone might be to blame. Number 6. Reduced muscle mass. Many researchers have pointed out the relationship between the ease of gaining muscle mass and the levels of free testosterone in the body. To put it simply, the higher your testosterone levels, the easier it is for you to gain bigger muscles. But there are a lot of other factors at play too. Firstly, your diet needs to have enough protein. Then, you shouldn't be getting too much or too little rest. However, if you have any underlying health conditions, they're also likely to be the obstacle between you and that shredded body. Some men naturally have fewer receptors for testosterone, so their body isn't able to use all the testosterone it produces even though there isn't a systemic disease or disorder. As it turns out, your T levels are the highest around the age you hit puberty. So if you're aged between 13 and 19, these are your best years to start working out and get a physique that will stay with you for the rest of your life. But if you do work out, have a healthy balanced diet, get enough sleep, and stay active but still aren't able to gain muscle as quickly as most of your friends, this can be a sign of low testosterone in your body. Number 7. Difficulty staying erect. Developing erectile dysfunction is a depressing likelihood for men with low levels of testosterone. And guess what? Low testosterone levels might just be the underlying cause. Let's look at the symptoms we've talked about in this video. For instance, low testosterone men have low sex drive. They don't feel as motivated to have sex and may be unable to get an erection simply because their nervous system isn't excited enough about the act. Then, inadequate muscle tone within the pelvic floor can affect the ability to achieve and sustain erections. And having more than healthy amounts of body fat contributes to cardiovascular problems that can get in the way of healthy sex. Or a guy can simply be too stressed about life to be able to get normal, healthy arousal. But here's where it gets interesting. Research has also found that type 2 diabetes can increase the likelihood of experiencing low testosterone levels, a condition known as hypogonadism. And just like that, low testosterone slows down your metabolism, which can easily lead to both diabetes and obesity. Diabetes and obesity, in turn, are major causes of erectile dysfunction in young men. It's a never-ending cycle. However, we'll have you guys know that erectile dysfunction is a medical condition that can occur in men who don't have low testosterone, and it is possible to have low testosterone without having erectile dysfunction. But if you think your erectile dysfunction is linked to low T levels, don't forget to schedule a checkup for your testosterone levels, because from there is no way but up. Have you been experiencing any of these signs? What other things do you think can indicate low T levels? Comment down below. Until then.